So before I start before I start yawning, some of that New Jersey accent slipped out there. That happens when I'm tired. That's a weird thing. And I'm going to try to get through this real quick before I start yawning again. This week has been a little interesting. Unexpectedly, a financial blessing showed up out of the blue. And so I had to take some time to actually figure out what to do with it. And then I just decided to just take a few days. I have been recording. In fact, I'm going to just let you know what's coming in the days ahead between Thursday and the weekend. There's one preacher in a location that I just picked randomly. It wasn't that random, actually. Let me take that back. He's one of these preachers that says amen after everything. And so just for my own interest value, I was going to take a sample of his preaching, and then I was going to count how many amens there were, and then I was going to just come up with a ratio of amens to everything else, and see what people actually come away with in a service that's like that. There's a lot of, you'd be surprised how many of the preachers out there in TCC say amen. It's a bad habit is what it is. They say it after everything. Well, to my surprise, the service that I chose for this person, they didn't do it as much as some previous videos of theirs. So I just decided to listen in a bit. And he said something that made me go, well, this can prove a point about something. And so I recorded it and put it in a file. And, he said something like about making reference to somebody, like it'll probably be clipped and put up on the internet. I'm paraphrasing. And I thought, wow. Okay, well, I will do that for you. And so that's coming up. So I have some clips coming up. I have a story coming up. I'm hoping to get back to an interview with my daughter, but we've been quite busy with some things. And what was the other thing I was going to tell you? Let's see, there was that. Um, Oh, yeah. I know what it was. So, there have been some really great comments. And by great comment, I mean they validate. They pulled someone out to make the comment. Like it resonated with them in some way, and they shared their information. There's also comments from someone who has some questions. I don't know if they're genuine questions. They might be. But then the person just kind of disappeared when they were asked some questions. So I leave that open to interpretation. I'm not going to judge that right now. The person could be busy. They do seemingly own their own business. And so I know how that is, and that can keep you hopping. So what I'm going to do, speaking to the fact that I think I told you before that my daughter and some others have voiced that they don't like when there's images on the videos and there's no talking or anything. So what I'm going to do is maybe like a week in review on maybe like a Saturday night, somewhere around there. I'm not going to say it's going to be this every week, but what I'll do is if I feel like there's a significant amount of comments, and what I do is I screenshot everything. I am a screenshotter. If I pay a bill online, screenshot. If I do buy something online, screenshot it. If I do anything. If I Before I add money on my Cash App, I screenshot, then I screenshot after. And I do that because um, if you get burned from not having proof of something, especially when you do things online, I just do that. And then at the end of the month, I go through my screenshots and I delete, keep my computer running, chugging along nicely. So, this is riveting stuff, isn't it? It's truth. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, screenshots. Wow, I need to get to sleep. Um, screenshots. Screenshots. Oh, yeah, the comments. uh, so, I take screenshots. So, and also they go to my email. Most of the time they do. Sometimes they don't. And so I always have them. So if anyone were to delete something, I would still have it. So I consider the past week to have produced some very relevant comments. And if I have not answered yours yet or responded to it in some way, trust me, I will. Um, Sometimes all I have is the chance during the day or in the evening to kind of give it a quick glance this past week. It's just been really busy. So I will get to those. I don't like any comment to go unanswered unless it's just crazy. And then I might just boot it into cyberspace. But I'm going to mostly, I'll show them in a video, but I'll also read them like story time, right? Like a bedtime story, comments about NTCC. I don't know that that's a concept, but it will be like a week in review of comments. So we'll do that. I have a story to share about when I first came to the church in the Philippines, and I just want to pursue it from a certain angle and mostly compare and contrast the people that I met my first time and then what I found along the way. And comments that, oh yeah, and the clip from the preacher who seems to be begging for a clip, so we'll give him what he wants. That's fine because he made a point for me. And so you'll see he kind of adds information which paints more of a picture. And I have started to move more around the country now. Of course, as I've said before, Graham is the DNA of this organization. So if Keckel's saying something, Kinson is saying something, or Olson, then that's what's being filtered down through the ranks. And make no bones about it. I mean, everything from like more than 5 minutes of joke telling at the beginning of Bible studies. That's a thing. It's a thing in Graham. It's a thing in Bremerton. I mean, that guy told so many, either last night or the night before, that they were just long and boring. And I don't. So it's a thing. I guess like, hey, lighten up the crowd, tell some jokes. But when it's all the time and it doesn't seem to be spontaneous, I have looked at other Bible studies on to see if everyone is doing it. I don't think everyone is doing it. Maybe some are just in rebellion and that's why their churches won't grow. I don't know. But I came across a preacher who seemed not well. I'm actually, um, I don't know what his status is in the organization as far as if he's one of those that exerts um, coercive control in his group, in his little uh, franchise location, but it really concerned me because it was over the course of at least a month. I just want to talk about that. We'll talk about health and welfare and wellness and all that. And it just made me sad. So I had to stop looking through that person's videos because it just made me extremely sad. But anyway, I hope you're having an amazing week, and look forward to, during the next 4 days through the weekend, for some new content. Thanks so much to everybody who's looking at the stuff and commenting and sending emails and all, and I'm going to catch up on the emails tomorrow and comments tomorrow. And thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Have a great night.